So either way, attraction or aversion, it's a mechanism to keep us safe, special. And special can mean feeling bad about yourself. And I've mentioned this before. That certainly was me. My ego was all about being especially broken, not fixable, not okay, not chosen, not, right? Whereas others are self-aggrandizing and look at me and prideful and look at how I dress and, you know, can't even tell beyond the facade who they really are, right? So either way, it's still attraction aversion. It's still separation consciousness. Hey, I thought I'd make a really short, quick video here on the heels of the last one and before an interview I am doing on this weekend. So I just want to state that again. This coming weekend, I'm going to be doing an interview with Sarah Eckerly, who is known as the Alchemist. It won't drop this weekend. It'll drop sometime starting next week, and I'll probably piece it out. But make sure you are subscribed if you are just meeting me now, and because you're not going to want to miss that. She's absolutely fabulous. So that being said, what I wanted to just quick chat about here is in the last video, which I think I'll link down here below because it was kind of deep into how we're moving up this levels of consciousness, these levels of awareness, as we're moving closer and closer into more of a unity type consciousness where we just don't have all of these, all of the constriction in our lives, all the difficulty in our lives. It's where joy and peace and love, it's where our soul really resides in terms of non-duality, of inclusiveness, of just being love and abundance and everything that we really are, and joy. So as we're moving up the scale of consciousness, I just wanted to give you a little tip here on how to really work with trying to understand things. There's actually two things that are coming to me right now. How to identify when you're in the ego, like when you're feeling the constriction and like, okay, how do I work with this now? Now that I've just felt this constriction or this feeling, something that's not passing through me, how do I deal with that? How do I recognize my ego in that? And then also I'm feeling like I want to say that so often you're hearing about, and I've talked a little bit about this, about quantum jumping, about going straight into the frequencies of your fifth dimensional self, of your soul self, of the fifth dimension is where everything is already accomplished for you. There's no time or space. Everything that you learned that you don't want in the third dimension and third and fourth is being held for you in its opposite, in its highest exalted form in the fifth dimension. And so how do we tune into that quickly? Or do I have to go level by level by level? So let me attack that one first. Obviously, in order to maintain, unity consciousness or, to reside in that super high manifesting unity place and that space of love and joy and abundance, then yes, you're going to move your way up the scale. And that's fine. We're all on this journey. We've been doing this for lifetimes, but it's accelerated right now. So you're going to have spirit at your back right now. Let's just say that. And lots of teachers like myself that are really wanting to do everything we can to help you spiral up into, or out of separation and into that unity. Which again is where everything that you want, that you think you want now is already there. But ironically, your level of desire and wanting things is going to go away. You're just going to feel the abundance. You're going to become the abundance and you're going to become the love that you're seeking for out here. Everything you're seeking for out here is already sourced within you as you move into that space. It's beautiful. So yes, we're going to make our way through it. Can we bypass it? Absolutely follow your joy, always, right? That's been taught by so many. Accept the moment and reach for joy. Accept the moment and try to get yourself into flow, doing something that brings you pleasure and brings you into a higher state. We can go up and down in vibe, moment to moment, but our core resonant frequency moves up slowly. Okay, the locus of our, how we're coming, how we are living is moving its way up the energy centers, and we're moving out of the solar plexus, the ego, and into heart-based consciousness at the heart. That's the third to the fifth right there. That's the movement that we're making right now. And so again, spirit's at your back. We got all this momentum. So being able to reach for a better feeling thought, a better feeling thing to do, even just getting neutral with meditation. This is so helpful when you find yourself in a spin. So let's now just shift that to, okay, how do I recognize when I'm in a spin or when I'm in ego, and how can I work with the mind part of that? So I've taught many times before, you want to feel it, and you've heard feel it to heal it. that's not going to fully heal it. It's going to let it out, but it's not necessarily going to keep you from doing it again. So we do have these two aspects, the masculine or the feminine and the masculine aspects, in order to bring us into a spiral, up spiral, because that's just how the universe works. It's the law of rhythm, and it's going to work negative, positive, and that's what creates movement. Yeah, Hermetic principles, you can study those. All right, so something hits you, it doesn't feel good, you feel a constriction. I mentioned this in the last video, I don't need to go through it again. Once you get to the other side of that, and without thinking about it, without creating and defending it and creating some more story and justifying and rationalizing and blaming and projecting and shoving it down, no, just feel it. Just feel, and it'll dissipate. I promise you it will dissipate. And then, if not right in that moment, make an appointment to do it later. Then you want to ask yourself a few things. And one of the things, like, often I just say, look at it like a little kid, or, just, am I supposed to learn something? Well, what were you feeling there? Well, how is that working for you? Is there something that you could do differently? Or what do you think would have been a better response? Things like that. It can just start to prompt a little self-inquiry can always help. But if you start to look at things like, okay, in the world of duality, we are making choices to defend ourselves or separate ourselves, to make ourselves special, safe, or, anything to keep us in our own control of our little world that we've created, which does require a lot of defending, and it gets smaller and smaller. We are making choices based on being attracted to something that we want, or want to hold on to, or attach to, or cling to, or make mine, or that's going to bring us more fun and more joy. And these are still fear-based, okay, all fear-based, because the world of duality and the ego is all based in fear. So you're either attracted, you're making choices in attraction, or you're making choices in aversion. You want to avoid certain feelings. You want to avoid, feeling all kinds of different feelings. So, like, for instance, you might, I don't have an idea right in mind right now. So, but just if you start to recognize, okay, I was attracted, I made this because I wanted to feel more of this, or I wanted to experience more of this, or I wanted to hang on to this. Whereas I ran away from it, or I'm in aversion to that. Therefore, I decided not to be humble because I wanted to be prideful instead of humble. Something like that could be an example. So there's things that we avoid because we think that by engaging with that, it's going to not keep us safe or special. So either way, attraction or aversion, it's a mechanism to keep us safe, special. And special can mean feeling bad about yourself. And I've mentioned this before, that certainly was me. My ego was all about being especially broken, not fixable, not okay, not chosen, not, right? Whereas others are self-aggrandizing and look at me and prideful and look at how I dress and, can't even tell beyond the facade who they really are, right? So either way, it's still attraction aversion. It's still separation consciousness. It's still trying to keep yourself safe and special. And that's a way to look at this. And so when you're doing this self-inquiry, as you're trying to, learn the lesson so you don't repeat it again, just something to think about. Is there something that I'm trying to move away from, or is there something that I'm trying to move towards? And is that really keeping me safe? Is that something I can let go of? Can I see that differently? So that's just a little tip I wanted to put in here today on the heels of that last one. So I'm going to go ahead and tag the last video down below. And again, make sure that you subscribe for the upcoming video or interview that I'm doing and all the pieces. I hope that you enjoyed this. Leave your comments and your questions. I know I talk fast. I've got so many things that want to come out and I just free flow. So your questions and, for clarity and things like that help me. They'll help me to create better content for you. And of course, as you know, if you're interested in working with me and working through some of these energies and helping you get up that scale and to a better life, then check the description box below and you'll find out how to do that. So thank you so much again for your attention, and I will see you on the other side.